Welcome to our Microsoft Office add-ins video tutorial. The Prognoz Platform add-ins for Microsoft Office allow you to use the common Office applications for data analysis. The integration tools support preparation of reports and analytical notes using data contained in a Prognoz Platform repository. Let's consider add-ins for Microsoft Excel. To access the Prognoz Platform capabilities, go to the Prognoz tab on the toolbar. Prognoz Platform add-in for Microsoft Excel supports two data display modes: time series analysis and OLAP report. To get started with data analysis, connect to the Prognoz Platform data warehouse. Select the multi-dimensional cube. You can insert cube data into an existing sheet or add a new sheet for the data. Let's insert data into the existing sheet. On the sheet, you can see the saved source view, data for two indicators: agriculture value added and GDP growth for countries around the world over the last 10 years. After the data source is inserted into the Microsoft Excel sheet, a side panel similar to the standard Prognoz Platform bar appears. Any operation performed using this panel is automatically displayed in the data table. Let's configure the dimension selection for the table. The Map button adds a cartographic view of the data source to the workbook. Excel does not natively support maps, so the map is inserted as an image. Once the selection in the dimensions changes, the map refreshes. The Chart button of the tool ribbon enables you to display data as a chart. Note that charts are created using Microsoft Excel tools, so you can configure them quickly and flexibly. Let's consider Microsoft Excel capabilities with a time series database as a data source. Insert time series data into the existing sheet. Unlike the cube, which displays data as points, data from the selected source are represented as series. Use the side panel that appears on the sheet to configure the format and properties of the table and configure the series tree containing the data source structure. The property bar enables you to specify the sequence of time series attributes and set dimension filters. In the territory dictionary, select filtering by South American countries and select GDP growth as an indicator. Time series data can be displayed in table and graphical forms. Statistics for the selected data series appears on the results panel. If necessary, you can transform table data into a natural logarithm, for example. In this case, you can enable the display format in the Excel table. Data analysis is accessible on the side panel tabs. For example, let's set the cell fill color depending on cell values. Using the Chart tab of the tool ribbon and the Formats tab of the side panel, you can configure graphical data representation. For example, you can change the chart type, stacking, and legend. You can find time series transformation methods on the Calculations tab of the tool ribbon that appears. Let's forecast GDP growth in Bolivia using the ARIMA method. Set calculation parameters on the Series tab of the side panel and view the results in the same name tab. The Prognoz Platform add-in for Microsoft Excel also supports advanced analytics capabilities, accessible on the same name tab of the tool ribbon. You can save the report in Microsoft Excel format, preserving its connection to the data source. You can open the report on a computer without the Prognoz Platform add-ins. In this case, only the saved data view will be available. Let's consider the Prognoz Platform add-ins for Microsoft Word. To access Prognoz Platform capabilities for Microsoft Word, go to the Prognoz tab on the toolbar. From inside any Word document, you can insert predefined workbooks, regular reports, and OLAP reports stored in the Prognoz Platform repository. To create an analytical note in Microsoft Word using data from the Prognoz Platform repository, you can use objects such as table, chart, map, and expression. Let's connect to the Prognoz Platform data warehouse and select the desired data source. In the dialog box that appears, set data source dimensions by categories and make the desired selections. Let's display GDP growth in South American countries over the last 3 years. In the preview area, you can see a data table built based on current dimension parameters. The inserted table is a Microsoft Word object, so you can customize it using the native Microsoft Word tools. Let's set the numeric format for the table data. Similarly, insert a chart into the document. Configure the chart so that it displays the GDP growth in Australia and Oceania countries over the same time period as in the table. The chart will be inserted below the table. Because the chart is a Microsoft Excel object, you can customize it with the Microsoft Office tools. After you add the objects, two windows such as Report Objects and Controls appear. The Report Objects window contains information about data views added to the report. To allow report data management, you need to add controls. Let's create a control to manage the country's dimension in the chart and link it to the table. The data table is automatically refreshed. Now, the table and the chart display the same data in different representations. You can also add dynamic text fields to the document. For example, insert into the report the maximum value of the indicator. To do so, use the expression object that can be calculated based on the data slices or user-defined formula. Let's define the expression parameters. Select Maximum as the aggregation method. The sheet now displays the maximum indicator value. Let's set number format of the expression. Once selection in the control changes, the expression is updated. So that explanatory labels refresh automatically, add the data source element selection to the report sheet. Let's insert the list of analyzed countries into the text and bind the new expression with the country's control. Now, if you change the control value, the document is refreshed completely, including the description, the table, and the chart. Add the document title and format it. You can save the report as a Microsoft Word document with a link to the data source. You can later open this document on any computer where Microsoft Office is installed. If the Prognoz platform is not installed on the computer, you cannot manage the data, but you can still see the saved data view. Let's see Microsoft PowerPoint's capabilities empowered by the Prognoz Platform add-in. You can use prepared reports and individual Prognoz Platform objects, such as tables, charts, maps, or expressions to create a PowerPoint presentation. Add to the presentation slide an OLAP report containing data on GDP growth around the world represented as a map. The add-in for Microsoft PowerPoint enables you not only to insert ready-made views, but also to modify data displayed using controls. The saved presentation supports links to data sources. You can open it on any computer with Microsoft Office and access the saved view. Please note that this add-in is for viewing data only, not for managing the data. So, empowered by the Prognoz Platform add-in, Microsoft Excel becomes a data analysis tool connected to the data warehouse. The Prognoz Platform add-in for Microsoft Word enables you to use Word as an analytical note designer. You can also create interactive PowerPoint presentations, insert a report as a whole or by its components, add controls and calculable expressions, and so on. Our add-ins for Microsoft Office video tutorial is over. Thank you for your attention.